Chosen one, maybe you have not noticed yet, but what you carry sets you apart. Your gift is not common, and that is exactly why it attracts so many looks. They are not just curious looks, they are looks that get bothered, that wonder how someone like you carries something so deep. And the answer is simple. It was God who entrusted it. What happens is that many people come close not to applaud you, but to observe you. They do not understand your journey, your decisions, your strength. This confuses them, because they expected you to break. They expected you to surrender. But you remained, and that remaining became a threat to those who sought shortcuts and got lost along the way. Today, this message is to remind you that your light is not a mistake. It is a sign. And if it bothers, it is because it illuminates areas that many people prefer to keep hidden. Do not shrink because of that. Do not put out the flame to comfort those who do not want to grow. Your gift has a purpose, and the time to manifest it is now. If this word makes sense to you, follow this channel. It is here that heaven continues speaking to the chosen. Let us walk together. Have you ever stopped to think why your presence changes the environment? There is something in you that is not common. People feel it, even without knowing how to explain it. They look, notice, comment. But what they do not know is that this has nothing to do with appearance, status, or charisma. It has to do with purpose. The gift you carry was placed in you by God Himself. It was not your choice. It was ascending. He saw a need in the world and decided to entrust that answer to you. Your gift is not an ornament. It is a mission. And when that starts to appear, those who live by appearances get bothered. Many people try to understand your trajectory, your steps, your words. But they cannot decipher it, because what you carry is not taught in a course. It is not copied in a video. It is something celestial coming straight from above. That is why there are those who try to imitate your way, your strength, but fail. Because it is not style, it is anointing. People may try to copy your dedication, but they cannot sustain the weight. Because the gift is not light. It requires surrender. It requires renunciation. It requires faith. Only those who have lived the pains you have lived can walk carrying this calling. That is why your journey seems different, isolated, even misunderstood. Those who see you today cannot imagine the nights you cried, the moments you thought about giving up, the wars you faced in silence. But God saw, and that is why He continues to breathe life over the gift that dwells in you, because He formed you for this. And He will not allow you to be destroyed. If you are noticing that some have moved away when your light began to shine, do not be surprised. It is the gift that confronts them. Your presence reveals what is extinguished in others, not out of malice, but because you show, unintentionally, that it is possible to be true. That scares those who live by appearance. Your gift is like a key. It opens doors that have been locked for a long time. Sometimes, just by arriving, you already begin to unlock hearts. People begin to rethink life. Words start to make sense again. All of this because you decided to continue even without understanding everything. And God honors that. This gift was not given to put you in the spotlight. It was given to put light where there was darkness. Your mission is not to promote yourself. It is to serve. It is to transform. It is to touch those whom no one else touches. It is to reach those who have already lost hope. And you do this even without realizing it, because you are operating in something that is greater than you. Do not compare yourself. Do not try to diminish your value because you still do not see everything you dreamed of. Your gift is in process. And every step you take, even the hardest ones, is aligned with the plan that heaven wrote for you. Remain faithful. Remain available. The gift you carry is necessary. You are rare, not because you want to be different, but because you were set apart. And it is exactly this separation that makes you seem strange to some. But it is also what makes you an answer for others. The gift that is in you does not need applause. It only needs space. And God is opening that space. Have you noticed how sometimes your presence changes the atmosphere of a place? Sometimes it is just you arriving and the environment becomes silent. Some eyes turn away, others stare at you with curiosity. And it is not because you said something wrong. It is because what you carry speaks before you open your mouth. The gift that is in you carries an atmosphere. It brings light, discernment, truth. And this, for those who live on autopilot, can be uncomfortable. Because your presence reminds them that integrity still exists, that obedience still exists. And many people do not want to be reminded of that. They prefer the comfort of appearances. You do not need to strive to make an impact. It happens because the essence that is in you is from another kingdom. It is as if heaven manifests through your walk. And that destabilizes those who live on the surface. Your depth scares. Your clarity confronts. Your firmness bothers. Maybe you have lost friendships. Maybe you have already heard that you are too different. But what happened was simple. Your gift began to grow. And where there is growth, there is separation. Because not everyone can walk beside someone who carries something greater. Some prefer the comfort zone, and your light reveals that choice. There are those who say you have changed. But the truth is that you have awakened. And when someone awakens, everything around begins to be shaken. Your relationships change. Your conversations change. Your thoughts change. And those who do not want to change prefer to move away. Not out of anger, but out of self-defense. Your presence has spiritual weight. And that is not a burden, it is a sign. It is the sign that you were marked for something greater. And the environment feels it. Even people who have never seen you before notice. Something in you draws attention. It is not beauty. It is not charisma. It is the anointing. But that has a cost. The cost of being misunderstood. The cost of not being welcome everywhere. The cost of not fitting into shallow circles. But God never called you to fit. He called you to make an impact, to bring presence where there was only routine. When light enters, it does not ask permission. It enters and shows what was hidden, and that creates discomfort. But it also brings healing. It also brings deliverance. And the gift you carry was created for this. To be a lighthouse in the midst of darkness. To be presence where there is absence. If you have felt the weight of rejection, know this. It is not you who is being rejected. It is heaven in you that is being noticed. And hell reacts. It cannot stand the presence of truth. Therefore, it uses people, situations, words to try to silence you. But the gift that God placed in you will not be extinguished. Your presence bothers because it reveals. But it also attracts. It attracts the weary, the broken, those who have tried everything. They draw near not out of curiosity, but out of necessity. They feel that there is something different, and that is what you carry, a gift that transforms, even in silence. Not every gaze that follows you is one of admiration. Some watch you trying to understand why you are still standing. They want to know how someone who faced so much still carries peace in their eyes. They do not understand, because they look from the outside. They do not see what sustains you. They do not see the heaven that moves you. Envy is born when someone sees in you the reflection of what they abandoned within themselves. It is the discomfort of realizing that, even with fewer resources, less support, fewer applause, you keep shining. And not because you want to compete, but because you carry something that cannot be extinguished. Your light is steady, and that bothers. People envy what they cannot reproduce, and what God gave you cannot be copied. They may even try to imitate the manner, the words, the style, but they will never be able to reproduce the source, because the origin of your gift is not in technique, but in purpose. It was breathed, not learned. It was entrusted, not constructed. That is why so many try to diminish what you do. It is easier to criticize than to admit that something divine is at work. Some even pretend to support you, but their heart is competitive. And you feel it. You feel the energy change. You feel the fake smile. You feel the discomfort. And that saddens you. But it also teaches you. Envy, in fact, is a thermometer. It shows that there is something in you that the world cannot ignore. If no one felt anything, it would be because there was no impact. And when there is impact, there is reaction. Some are inspired, others are bothered. And both are signs that you are moving in purpose. God warned you that the gift would bring visibility, but also resistance. Not only spiritual, but human. Because light always bothers darkness, and darkness is not always ill intent. Sometimes it is ignorance. They are people who do not know how to deal with another's shine because they never learned to light their own. You need to learn not to be offended. Envy is not your problem. It is the other's problem. It is a poorly treated wound that reacts to your healing. It is a sleeping soul that gets irritated upon seeing someone awakened. And this only reinforces that you are on the right path. That your gift is fulfilling its role, awakening. Do not wear yourself out trying to prove anything. Do not put out what God lit to make others comfortable. You are not called to please, but to illuminate. And illuminating always brings discomfort. The candle does not apologize for burning, it just fulfills its function. And that is exactly what you need to do now. Keep shining. Envy will never defeat purpose. It may delay for a time. It may hurt. It may confuse. But it does not destroy. Because what is sustained by God is not shaken. While they try to understand how you do it, heaven keeps pushing you forward. You do not need to explain yourself. You only need to remain. And remember this. What comes from God always provokes what is false. Authenticity exposes artifice, and that is why they watch you so closely. It is not about you. It is about what inhabits you. You are not the cause of envy. You are the reflection of what they chose not to be. Keep being. Keep light. Keep being light. Not everyone who admires the shine would withstand the weight. They want the result, but not the process. They want the oil, but not the fire. And that is where God separates those who only dream from those who are chosen. Because the gift is not a prize, it is a responsibility. It is a holy weight that requires endurance. You know what you had to endure to get here. The nights when everything seemed to collapse, but something inside you made you continue. The times you prayed without feeling anything, and even so you did not give up. The wounds you learned to hide, the losses you learned to turn into strength. All of this shaped you. The gift was not born in comfort. It was forged under pressure. Each tear, each no, each weight had a purpose. God trained you in silence so that, when the time came, no one could say it was luck. What you carry was won through faithfulness, not ease. And that is what makes you authentic. Those who look from the outside do not see the price. They only see the shine, and they confuse the gift with luck. But it was not luck, it was purpose. It was a preparation that cost sleepless nights, lost friendships, closed doors, and a faith that had to be sustained when everything said otherwise. What is in you was expensive, and that is why it is rare. God did not call you to be light. He called you to be firm. Lightness comes after endurance. And those who were not prepared try to carry what you carry and collapse. Because the weight is not of the gift itself, it is of the mission it brings. The gift is the tool, but obedience is what keeps it active. Therefore, do not be surprised if few understand what you live. Those who were not forged by the same fire do not understand the temperature. But God understands. He saw the time when you endured without recognition. And that is why now He is lifting you up, not for vainglory, but for purpose, to influence without being corrupted. You needed to be broken to be used. And this is a seal. Heaven only entrusts great tasks to contrite hearts. Because those who have been broken learn to care without judging. They learn to serve without exalting themselves. They learn to recognize the pain of others, because they have already felt in their own skin what it is to bleed alone. The gift you carry is heavy, but it is the same weight that brings healing. It demands of you, but it also renews you. Because every time you deliver what God gave you, something inside you is restored. You become lighter when you share the weight with the purpose. And that is what keeps you firm. Many want the stage, but few want the process. They want the honor, but not the responsibility. And that is why God has held you back until now. He did not want the gift to destroy you. He wanted you to mature enough to carry it with humility. And now, He knows you are ready. You carry something that the world needs, something that few would endure, but you were chosen precisely because you endured. Not with perfection, but with faith. The gift in you is a reminder that God still trusts people. And yes, He trusted you. Being authentic is a gift that bothers. In a world where many live by appearances, the simple fact that you are true already causes discomfort. Your authenticity confronts. Your transparency reveals. And this unsettles those who got used to hiding. It is not your intention to provoke, but the truth you carry is a light that exposes what many try to disguise. It is not that you talk too much. It is that your life speaks before you say anything. The way you act, decide, react. All of this carries an identity that does not mold to the environment. And when someone does not mold, they end up shaking structures. You cause movement simply by remaining firm in who you are. And that is where many get uncomfortable. Because they expect you to bend, to fit in, to be silent, to fit. But you were not made to fit. God molded you to stand out. Not out of vanity, but out of mission. Your existence breaks patterns. Your vision opens paths. Your posture exposes the falseness around you. The gift of authenticity does not need a stage, because it manifests even in silence. You can be in a corner without drawing attention, and even so people notice you. They feel something different, something they do not know how to explain. This is not arrogance. It is presence. It is the mark of someone who carries something divine inside. But carrying this presence has a price. Not everyone is ready to walk with someone who lives in truth. Some walk away, others criticize. There are those who try to diminish what you are just to feel comfortable. But do not take it personally. This is just a reflection of what you awaken in them. When God called you, He did not promise popularity. He promised presence. And this presence sustains you in the places where applause does not reach. You do not need their approval. You only need to remain connected to the source. Because those who live to please everyone lose direction. But those who live guided by the Spirit never walk in circles. Being authentic is living with risk. The risk of being rejected. The risk of not being understood. But it is also living with freedom. Freedom to be whole, to love without fear, to build without manipulating. And this freedom is dangerous to those who only know the prison of appearances. Your gift is to live in truth. And where there is truth, there is healing. There is clarity. There is confrontation. But there is also transformation. Because you show, without needing to force it, that it is possible to live with purpose without getting lost along the way. You are not being difficult, you are being truthful, and that is rare. Keep this with you. Being faithful to who God called you to be will always be worth more than being accepted by those who do not understand your purpose. Your peace lies in remaining firm, even when loneliness appears. And when you keep your focus, God sends true connections that recognize your gift and walk by your side without fear. You do not need to disguise yourself to be loved, nor diminish yourself to be accepted. What God placed in you shines naturally, and those who are true will see it. Keep being whole, keep being real, because in the end, the world may resist your authenticity at first, but it will need it when everything else fails. There comes a moment when the gift stops being just something internal and begins to manifest as an answer for others. You realize that you do not carry it just for yourself. What was deposited in your spirit is a seed that needs to blossom, to heal, restore, and set free people who do not even know your name, but need what you carry. You begin to realize that your pain had a purpose, that loss, that weight, that disappointment. None of it was in vain. Because now, when someone suffers, you understand. When someone cries, you feel. And when someone falls silent, you listen with your heart. Because your gift was tuned to human pain. And that makes you an answer. God does not waste suffering. He turns everything into preparation. And each scar you carry becomes a bridge to reach those who are still wounded. You begin to speak with authority because you lived what many still face. And your words are not empty. They carry healing because they were generated in pain. This is the power of a matured gift. It does not seek a stage. It seeks purpose. It does not need to impress. It transforms. And you realize it is no longer about you. It is about whom you can lift up. It is about those who need hope, those who need to know it is possible to survive and to flourish. When your gift begins to operate, you do not need to force anything. People come to you. They feel safety. They feel truth. They feel God. And you understand that you are just being a channel, that it is not about your strength, nor about your perfection. It is about your surrender. The more you surrender, the more God uses you. Maybe you still think you are not enough, that you do not know enough. But the gift does not demand perfection. It demands willingness. God uses those who are available, those who even with fear say, "Here I am." Those who, even wounded, keep helping. Those who, even without understanding, keep believing. And that is how you have impacted lives. The people who will be most touched by you are those whom no one sees. They are the forgotten, the weary, those on the verge of collapse. And that is where your gift shines. Not because of beautiful phrases, but because you become presence. You transmit heaven through simple actions, with listening, with empathy, with consistency. Do not underestimate the strength of your presence. Do not think it is little just because no one is applauding. Sometimes heaven performs the greatest miracles in silence. While you think nothing is happening, there are hearts being restored just because you chose to remain. And that is the impact of your gift. It transforms even without a stage. You were not chosen just to carry something beautiful. You were chosen to carry something powerful. And this power is activated when you decide to love, to serve, to remain. It is not about quantity, but about depth. A word of yours can change someone's day. A gesture of yours can save a life. And that is a gift being used. Keep being an answer. Keep being available. Because while you serve, heaven takes care of you. While you heal, God restores you. While you give, He sustains you. You are not forgetting yourself. You are investing in the mission. And whoever takes care of God's mission is never left helpless. Chosen one, now that you have come this far, it is impossible to ignore what you carry. The gift that dwells in you is not light, but it is holy. It was entrusted to you for a reason greater than recognition or prominence. It was placed in your hands to heal, to guide, to illuminate paths that many still cannot see. The pressures, the crooked looks, the envy, and even the silence of those who should support you. All of this is part of the scenario of someone who carries a greater purpose. When God chooses someone, He does not choose for comfort, but for the capacity to endure. And you endured. You are still here. You are still standing. Even on the days when you wanted to stop, something pushed you forward. That something is the mark of heaven in you. It is the silent reminder that your journey is not common. You are not just living. You are being an answer. Your life is a sign to others. A reminder that God still raises people in silence and exposes them when they are ready. What lies ahead requires maturity, but you are ready. Because you have already endured what many would not be able to, and God knows that. Therefore, He is releasing new levels of influence over you, not to magnify you, but to expand the reach of the gift you carry. Prepare to be used even more. Prepare to touch lives you never imagined you would reach. And now, I want to ask you something. If this word spoke to you, if it reminded you of who you are and what you carry, leave in the comments the phrase, "I carry a gift that cannot be extinguished." Write this as a seal, as a declaration of faith, as a reminder for difficult days. And if you still do not follow the channel, click subscribe now. Here you will find more words that strengthen, awaken, and align you with heaven. What God began in your life, He will complete. And while the world tries to understand your light, keep carrying the gift, because it is your mission. And heaven already moves when you say yes.